Well, my watch says it's 7 o'clock and it's time to start. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. And we aren't having rain. It's kind of an overcast day today, but not too bad. Still wondering when summer's going to start, because July starts the next Monday. And so far we haven't had much in the way of summer. At any rate, I am excited today to show you a new suite that will be in the September through December mini catalog, which will be available to purchase from in September. But I got some product because I signed up for a Stampin' Up! Event called Crafting Along for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And the first thing about this set, this suite, that I want to share with you is the Designer Series paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's called Nests of Winter. It's a 12 by 12. The colors involved in it are quite a lot. Basic black, blueberry bushel, cherry cobbler, Costa Cabana, copper clay, crumb cake, daffodil delight, garden green, granny apple green, gray granite, night of navy, pumpkin pie, real red, and shaded spruce. Now, because I've got aging eyes and the print on these is so tiny, I have written the names up above so that I can see it without having to get a magnifying glass. The other thing I like to do is I cut off the edge of the paper a 3-inch strip and have a 3-inch square that I then cut in half so I can see both sides of the Designer Series paper, and I put it on the back of the cardboard that comes with the set. This makes it easy for me to see what is in the, what papers are in there and designs, so I don't have to go flipping through all the pages all the time. But now let me show you the beautiful artwork. So it's with birds and berries. This one you can cut out. It comes along with dies, of course, and you can cut out some of these images using some of the dies, like that one, for instance. And then this bird can be cut out, so you don't even have to stamp in color. You can just cut out the Designer Series paper. And yeah, that's the dies that work with this. Included in the dies is this background die that we're going to be using. It has two fronds, so you can do twice as much, and there's 2 branches, and then this will cut out one of the images. And I think it's a rather cool set. You can make some really pretty cards. They don't have to be just Christmas. Okay, so this is the first pattern. The back side's just a general. Could be used any time of year. Could be used for a baby card. Then there's this one with the birds and pine cones and green stripes on the back. Here's another one. Let me see, will the dies cut out these birds? Nope. It won't cut out the birds on this pattern. And it's kind of got a, I think this is Summer Splash background with speckles. Pussy willows. And birch bark background. And then there's this Designer Series paper. You can cut it in half, turn it down a little bit, and you've got your whole background all done. Just put a greeting on it. It's easy peasy card. I like that kind. And this background is kind of a wood thing with, looks like maybe stars, little crosses on it. And this is also a lovely one with the trees and the little birds in the trees. And the background is probably Queen Anne's lace with little tufts of snow on them, and the birds are hiding in it. So that is the Designer Series paper. Also included in the suite are these earth tone shimmer gems. They come with, oh, I didn't write the colors down. Basic beige, green, basic white, and I think this is probably pecan pie, and this might be summer splash. Not summer splash, soft shy shamrock. So there's those as part of the suite. Also part of the suite is some natural tone linen thread. We'll be using this color. I already showed you the dies. And let me show you the stamp set. So this is the stamp set. Okay, so this die, these are at 85%, so the dies are a little bit bigger. But there's that die, fits that. This die will cut out this branch. This will cut out this stamp. And this one cuts out this stamp. In addition to that, there's the greeting. This is friends like you bring me happiness, sending thanks and much love, and thinking of you always. So it's not, it's got a winter theme, but it isn't crying out Christmas. But it could be used year round. These could be bluebirds. It could be, well, berries would be kind of hard to have bluebirds and berries, but you might color them pink, and they could be the buds of a tree about to ready to bloom. So there's that. And for the greeting, I'm going to be using one of these Unbounded Love dies to fit the greeting, thinking of you always. So let's get started on the card. This is the card I came up with. It's not the one that we did on last Saturday. I had to work, so I wasn't there, and I'm just working my way through the recordings now. But I found somebody else on Facebook had shared where they used this beautiful Tranquil Meadow, I think it is, card designer series paper with the die, and I thought, oh, I have to do that. So that's what we're going to be using. This is the new color, Basic Beige, and it's kind of, let me show you the difference between that and white and very vanilla. So there's Basic White, and here's Very Vanilla, and this is Basic Beige. So it kind of complements those neutral colors. And the cardstock is 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half at 4 1/4. Kind of a standard card base. Oh, one other thing that comes in the suite is an embossing folder. It's called Birchwood, and it's huge. And it was pointed out by the demonstrator who was doing the craft along last Saturday, was that it is long. It actually measures 8.5 inches long, so you could put a whole If you're making a large card, you could put a whole half sheet in there, and the whole thing would get embossed. So this is particularly good for our European demonstrators because their cards are A5s, which are 5x7, I believe. And so this is a particularly good thing for them. But this is part of the suite as well. It's called Birchwood, and it's a 3D embossing folder. Okay, so there's the card base. And I'm going to use, excuse my arms reaching out. I'm going to be using this die and some Mossy Meadow cardstock. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. The die does not cut around the outside edge, so I could have made it wider, but I wanted to have an even border around. Now with my sample card, I did not put adhesive sheet on the back of it, and then I had to put little glue dots to make sure, not glue dots, but liquid glue to get everything to stick down. So what I'm going to do this time is put a sheet of adhesive sheet on. So I don't have to take time to put all those little dots of liquid adhesive on there. Okay, get my mini Big Shot. These are on sale through Sunday, 10% off. There is a blue one that was developed as a special for joining sometime back. It was, that is for sale as well. It's a little bit less expensive than the white one for some reason, but the big one is also on sale. I'm going to use some tape to hold this in place first because I want my edge to be accurate. Piece of painter's tape will work. Now it won't wiggle. Oh, this is really tight. I guess that adhesive sheet on the back was just enough of a shim to make it tight going through there. Almost through. There. Sometimes a girl needs to work out. Oh, good. This painter's tape doesn't want to release. But this is important. Fortunately, this is not going to be used. get fine cutting like this, sometimes it's a little harder to get it to come out, especially with that adhesive on the back. There, finally. Okay, let's just peel it off the paper. There we go. One little hole that didn't come out yet. Okay. So now we're going to stick the Designer Series paper on here. Like so. And there we have it. A beautiful scene looking through the branches of a evergreen going around the side. Okay, so we'll put this on the front with, I grabbed one that was wound backwards. Once in a while, you'll get a seal where they wound it backwards. And all you need to do when that happens is call Stampin' Up! And they'll quickly replace it for you. Okay, so there's the card front. That's the beginning of it. Now for the bird and the greeting, I have a scrap of the basic beige, and I'm going to stamp on it with Pecan Pie. This is my favorite brown at this point. I love this color. Not that fond of Pecan Pie, but I do love the thing. I'm going to move this around a little bit. I can get another. Have more than one block. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the greeting, thinking of you always, here. Doesn't matter if it's crooked because I'm going to use dies to cut it out. Sometimes I try stamping on the card front itself and then end up crooked, so then I have to stamp on another piece and cut it out and paste it over the mistake. Okay, so I'm going to be using this little bird die. And I'm going to use this label. I'm lucky that I stamped it such a way that the die still fits on there. And I should have planned a little better because this is going to be hard to run through the die cutting machine with that wide edge, but it's going to work. Go. Oh, carefully come off without ruining the cardstock. The secret is to slowly pulling it. There's my bird. Not quite perfect alignment, but good enough. If I was really fussy, I would take my paper snips and cut along there. There's our greeting. And I'm going to stick it on with Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to pop the bird up with Mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, with pieces of border from the Mini Stampin' Dimensionals. It's kind of good because they can make a really skinny one to go here on the tail. Nope, not skinny enough. I'll just put it down here. So I want to remind you that the sale for the Stampin' Bundles and for the die cutting machines, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, only runs through Sunday. It's 10% off, so the bundles are actually 20% off because we already get 10% off because of the bundle. So we'll tie a little bow. Perfecto. And put it on with this, one of the mini, okay, where'd it go? It was right here. There they are. These come with the Stampin', the paper pumpkin kits, and they're a little smaller, so that for skinny bows like this is perfect. Little dot. Put the bow right here. Well, right there. Will be okay. There we go. Now let's move it a little bit. So there you have a nice masculine. Thinking of you always. You can go ahead and fill out the inside. With this basic beige, you don't need to have a white card insert because you can write on it and your writing can be seen quite easily. So at any rate, this is, like I say, it's going to be a bundle. It's going to be a suite in the new catalog. And I think it's a gorgeous suite. So very useful for winter and for all kinds of things. Not necessarily Christmas. So thank you for watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. If you have any questions, you can email me, sue@soggystamper.com. I will put the measurements on my blog. Soggystamper.com is my blog. And if you have any, if you need to order anything from me, I would love to have you as my customer, as long as you live in the United States. And if you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to send you a new catalog, the annual one, and get you on the list for getting the September through December mini catalog. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Bye-bye.